Domain expansion is one of the most special abilities in JJK. It's an advanced barrier technique that allows the user to manifest their inner domain, trapping the target inside. Domain expansion not only helps capture targets, but it also increased the power of curse techniques and their accuracy. Despite it only being 2 seasons of the anime, us fans have already seen a lot of domain expansion techniques. This begs the question, which is the strongest domain expansion? Let's find out.
Nigga, I'm ghost.
That's dope.
Nameless domain. This particular domain belongs to a smallpox deity, which is a special grade curse spirit. It's used against Mei to stop her from getting to Shibuya on time. While it's active, it traps the target in a coffin. Subsequently, it's buried underground with the help of a large boulder. The curse spirit then begins to count to 3. If the target is unable to escape in that time, they contact smallpox and they die. Mei was able to counter domain expansion with the help of her brother. Without his help, she would have been in trouble and possibly died. Horizon of the Captivating Skanda. This is Dagon's domain expansion. It creates a tropical beach with palm trees and a vast ocean. For this reason, it's considered a calm domain. Along with the environment change, it also enables Dagon's Shikigami to hit people without fail. Note, Dagon uses ability to overpower 3 strong sorcerers and left them in a terrible state. Even though this domain expansion is powerful in its own right, I think it pales in comparison to the other ones in the story, but it's not to be played with. Chimera Shadow Garden. Megumi's Chimera Shadow Garden is one of the better domains expansions shown in the series so far. Chimera Shadow Garden covers the area in shadows and allows Megumi to summon more Shikigami. Megumi's ability to manipulate shadows is also heightened when this domain expansion is active. He hasn't mastered this domain yet, so it's still kind of half-baked. It drains all his cursed energy and leaves him physically vulnerable after the fact. But once he gets better at utilizing the technique, I think Fushiguro is going to be one of the strongest sorcerers in the series. Coffin of the Iron Mountain. Now this is Jugo's domain expansion. Jugo's domain expansion creates an environment that looks like the inside of a volcano. Very fitting. Coffin of the Iron Mountain is like a large stone chamber that throws up magma randomly. Due to this environment created by Jugo, only special grade sorcerers can survive this environment, like Gojo. Jugo can also create a giant rock to hit his opponent because he in his domain expansion and that guarantees a hit. However, there's plenty of ways to defeat this domain expansion, like when Gojo used his own attack to nullify Jogo's, and then proceeded to use his own domain expansion to nullify Jogo's domain expansion. That's Gojo-like, right? Self-embodiment of perfection. Self-embodiment of perfection was developed by Mahito during his fight with Nanami and Itadori. After being pushed to the brink of death, Mahito was able to tap into his latent power, allowing him to unlock his domain expansion. This particular domain expansion turns everything pitch black, and then creates a network of hands that looks extremely daunting. Self-embodiment of perfection boasted the power of Mahito's idle transfiguration technique. That was a tongue twister, and it ensures to always hit the target. Nanami, a veteran Jujutsu sorcerer and one of my favorite characters, felt completely helpless when this technique was active, and called it a surefire way to secure a victory. The biggest drawback of this domain expansion is that Mahito has to touch the soul of another person. When he tried to touch Yuji, Sukuna lashed out at Mahito and almost killed him. Malevolent Shrine. Considering that Sukuna is known as a king of curses, it's not surprising to see him have a domain expansion of his own. Malevolent Shrine, true to the name. Once the domain expansion is activated, the environment changes and resembles a Buddhist shrine. However, the shrine is quite disfigured. It has horns and skulls on it, offering a great visual of Sukuna's personality and power. Malevolent Shrine is manifested directly into reality, and it does not require a barrier, making it a special domain. The radius of a Malevolent Shrine is 200 meters, but it can be narrowed down by Sukuna if needed. While Malevolent Shrine is active, Sukuna can use Cleave and Dismantle to destroy his targets. Sukuna first used his domain expansion against the Finger Bearer in the beginning of season 1. Unlimited Void. Unlimited Void is a domain extension used by Gojo. This particular domain has a very potent way of destroying Gojo's enemies effortlessly. Unlimited Void brings a user and the target into limitless. Once inside, the opponent's mind is filled with all sorts of raw information, which eventually overwhelms the opponent. It allows the user to see everything and feel everything, but at the same time, their senses are unable to discern anything. Gojo used Unlimited Void against Jogo, and like I mentioned earlier, he managed to completely overpower the latter domain. Jogo was unable to move and was left at the mercy of Gojo. In many ways, it's very fitting for the strongest character to have the strongest domain. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit this noti bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video with more JJK content. Peace.
Nigga, I'm ghost.
That's dope.